Welcome back to the Investor Shed podcast. My name is Nick Beveridge, and I'm here with my co-host, backed by popular demand, Jeremy Kitchen.
Am I by popular demand? Have people been asking for more Jeremy Kitchen?
Yes, they
Really?
asked that I shut up more and that you talk more.
Who said that?
A couple of people.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me.
I'm lying.
Okay, I'm like, I've never heard this. But
no, but people do like you.
I'm honored to be back by popular or unpopular demand, I guess. So thank you for having me as always, Nick.
Are you excited about today's topic?
I'm excited about every topic. I love it here.
You know how we normally talk about real estate, but not lately?
Yeah, I do. Go on.
We've got another one of those episodes today.
Nice.
And why not just talk about Bitcoin?
Okay.
We've done alternative investments before, right?
Uh-huh.
We've talked about silver and gold and other assets, but you know what? It's October.
It is.
Orange is in the air.
Both of our cards make a very Halloween-esque picture,
Yes.
by the way.
Jeremy and I are rocking the Gemini credit cards that give you Bitcoin rewards, and it's very Halloweenish.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. We are not sponsored by Gemini, by the way.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We might have a referral code eventually to get people.
But I just think the utility of these cards is really cool, specifically in the way that we use them.
Yes. So lately, I would say for the last month or two, maybe 2 months, I got this new credit card. And I, as a real estate investor, I use credit cards constantly, mostly to purchase renovation materials for building, renovating houses, that kind of stuff. So I had the option. I could just rack it all up on cards and pay it off and get the rewards. And normally that's what I do. However, I've noticed over the last many years, anytime I get the rewards money, I usually just give myself a statement credit.
Yeah.
Or, boring, or I buy some pot that is horrible, not like weed, like a kitchen utensil.
Sure.
They give you these stupid consumable items to pick from as your reward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like an Amazon gift card of $25 where you can just buy shit and have shit piling up in your house that you don't need, liabilities, basically. Like, however, I don't know why. I'm glad I'm doing it now because I know I have a long life pending not getting killed by vehicles.
Pending some disaster that happens and strikes you down.
I know I have a long life ahead of me of using cards on a daily basis, purchasing fuel and, food and whatever. I'm always using my cards, especially for business. Why not those little rewards that do add up? Why not it just invest into an asset that's appreciating that I don't touch? And
there's an asterisk right by appreciating, by the way.
Appreciating.
Yeah, it is appreciating.
Well, so Bitcoin, for instance, if you were to look at the last, since it's been in existence, it's appreciated on average about 70% a year.
Holy moly.
Some years are negative.
Sure.
Some years are 200%.
Right. But
on average,
70%.
70% a year.
Crazy.
Do you know what the U.S. dollar has? And so if you're not getting those rewards and just holding on to them, most of the rewards I get are U.S. dollar based.
Yep.
Here's a statement credit of $200 that took you a year to earn.
Right.
It's usually not that bad.
$55 back on your statement. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, here's a little bit of a credit of a depreciating asset, the U.S. dollar, that loses value every year due to inflation because of the way the economic system works.
Yep.
They just print every time they need more money. They just print it, more of it, supply and demand. The more you have,
I could just do that. Like, I wish I could just print more money on demand. Like, running low this month.
Well, opening more credit cards will do that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what that's how the country runs.
Right,
it just opens up new credit lines.
Right.
At the expense of the taxpayers' children.
Right.
Long term. But they don't care. They're politics.
Right.
They're politicians that just do not care about our future as much as we'd probably hope.
Right.
And most of the U.S. taxpayers, they don't care either. They don't understand what's going on. Most people do not care.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are some people out there that really do understand what's going on, really do care, but there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Other than play the game of, we live in a fiat currency world. And as soon as we get our exchange, our US dollar exchange, we can exchange it for an asset.
Yep.
Or a liability, whatever we want, or we can just sit on it as it erodes in value.
It's true. Those are basically your only three choices.
Yeah. So I love the idea of just having, so I get rewards anywhere from 1 to 4% of whatever I spend.
Mhm.
Um, Automatically this card purchases Bitcoin and puts it into a separate account for me.
Yep.
The moment I swipe the card, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's what I love about this card in particular. It's the moment you swipe and the moment the transaction clears, the reward goes into your account. It's not
Yeah.
like you don't have to wait for your statement to be like, okay, how much did you spend this month? And then it has to actually be active on your statement in order to get it. No, you just swipe and it goes in.
Yeah.
It's instantaneous.
And what I love about this is that, traditionally when you're an investor or if you're trying to save for retirement,
Yeah.
you have to purposely, most of the time, take money out of your account
Mhm.
and put it into something else.
Yep.
This just does it automatically by you spending like a madman.
Yeah.
The interest that you'll pay does not outweigh the reward.
That is 1000% correct.
So don't go crazy and rack up, $15,000 worth of junk and then not pay it off and have this revolving balance, because immediately the reward will not outweigh the actual cost.
Within a month or two, you've already gone negative on what you're paying
Yeah.
for interest. So,
But did you know, I'm sure you know, not everybody knows this out there. With credit cards,
Mhm.
you don't get charged interest unless you have a revolving balance that goes into the next month.
Yep.
So you can rack up $15,000 worth of stuff
Mhm.
if you have a credit card like what I have here.
Yeah.
And then when you get your bill in the mail, your statement, it says, here's your minimum balance due.
Mhm.
Here's your minimum payment, $130 or whatever it is, $200. Or here's the option to just pay it off. I racked up $7,000.
Yeah.
You just pay it off. If you pay it off, you pay no interest.
Yep.
Now, how does a credit card company still make money, Jeremy, if you're doing that?
They just off that. I mean, they don't really make money off you. They make money off everybody else.
They make money every time you run the card because the merchant pays a fee.
That's right.
However,
Mhm.
they do make most of their money
Right.
counting on most people's habits that they're not going to pay off this card.
Right. The reason why you have a credit card and the reason why the system works is because American finances are set in a way that we like to delay pay things and we like to push things. We like to kind of push the puck forward a little bit. They bank on that, and they bank on that hard, and you will pay very hard interest on any kind of credit card you have that's not in your introductory period.
So I will say you got to do this with caution and a little bit of strategic. You can't just be using credit cards willy-nilly if you're not prepared to pay them off in full.
Yeah.
Every month.
Mhm.
If you don't pay it off in full every month, everything you just did doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to probably pay up to 20% interest is not uncommon.
I've seen
So
higher.
if you-
I've seen higher. I have higher.
Now it is on an annual basis, so it's not like, if you rack up 10 grand, you're going to owe $2,000 worth of interest that next month.
Right.
It's based off an annual basis. So like if you just left 10 grand on there for a year,
Mhm.
then you would owe approximately $2,000 in interest.
Right.
If you only let it go 1 month, it's like, what's $2,000
Mhm.
divided by 12.
Yeah.
And that's the amount of interest that you owe for that month.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Not everybody understands this.
Right.
And I wish schools and stuff did a better job of explaining how interest works and how, when you make mortgage payments or car payments or credit card payments, how does it actually work and how can you make it work in your benefit? Because we definitely try to make it work in our benefit where we pay these cards off every month.
Yeah.
Unless it's like for a fix and flip. I
Right.
might let it go for 3 months.
Sure.
I don't care because I know that the reward of the house flip is going to outweigh the interest that I'll pay on that.
Right. And then,
But if I'm just, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
one more thing.
yeah.
But if I'm just using this for my everyday purchases, which is what I've been doing, I do pay it off every month
sure.
because I know I'm not going to pay interest on liabilities. That's not what I want to do.
And speaking of like your house flips and stuff, like, yeah, it makes sense that you let this thing ride for 2 to 4 months, right, while your house flip's getting done. That's not like a charge that you wouldn't be expecting anyway, though, because you're going to use a different credit card, or you're going to use a hard money lender, or you're going to use a private money lender. You're going to be paying interest.
You're
going
going
to
to be paying interest anyway.
Yeah, most of the time, like unless you got your finances in a real straight arrow, you're going to be paying interest on some things with a flip.
Right. And what I love about credit cards is that you only have to ask for permission once.
Yes.
And then you can use it again and again. You can pay it off. You can use it. Like I have credit cards that I've had for like 12 years.
Not only that, Yes, you only have to
And
pay
I
for
only
it once.
asked once
Yep, you only
for
have to ask once.
permission, when you apply and it's either a yes or a no.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, they usually add,
That's what I was gonna
more
say.
money that you can spend.
Like, you ask for it once, and then you get this revolving credit line, but they're like, we see you're very good with this card.
Yeah.
Would you like double the amount of...
Yeah. And even if they're not actually getting, all this monthly interest from you because you're paying it off every month, they're still happy with you using it because they make a little fraction of money every time you swipe the card from the merchant.
Yep.
The merchant has to pay, 3 to 5%.
Yeah.
Of merchant fees, sometimes 2.75 or something like that. I think that's on the low end. It depends. And then that's why some merchants or some, stores, they'll be like, oh, we don't take American Express.
Yeah.
Or we don't take Discover. We don't take those cards because those fees are a little too high for us.
Right.
Or something like that. Or you might run into, we'll take your credit card. We just add this fee that we get charged.
Yep.
So you got to be, know when and when not to use a card. You can't just always use a card.
Right.
You can't use a card to pay your home mortgage. Because you'll end up paying cash advance fees and all that stuff if you really tried to do it that way.
And like 2 to 4%. Sorry to cut you off. Like, that feels pretty like standard for the industry for like what a merchant pays. For Ginger Snap, like I go through Square, so people can run their cards through Square and I get paid. They take 4% off my top everything that I've taken.
Right.
Like just instantaneously, I get that deducted from my pay. I'm like, oh, that sucks, but that's just the way of the world. I'm not gonna not going to fight it and try to find something that's 3.8%. Like Square just works for me and it works for my clients and it's easy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a convenience factor. It's part of what you're selling as a business. Yep. And you just got to know that there are, I probably have 200 to 300 transactions every month that I make with the properties I have and all that stuff. And I am very strategic about if we can pay for anything with a credit card and it doesn't give you an extra fee, we're going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Because that will just make us more money throughout the year with the rewards and stuff. Right. Assuming that you're going to pay these cards off. Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind. You can't just use these willy-nilly if you don't actually have the money to back it up. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we can actually talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What it is. Jeremy, when did you first hear about Bitcoin?
Man, I don't know exactly when. I know the price of it when I first learned about it was about $3,000 a Bitcoin.
Okay.
And this was back when I was living at my brother's house.
Yeah.
I had, it was either Robinhood or one of the Coinbase probably is the one I had and started with.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, that's so expensive. Like, why would anyone spend $3,000 on this thing? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even know what it is.
Uh-huh.
Lo and behold, I fucked up, but that's okay.
That's okay. I'm gonna look at a price history chart.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard about Bitcoin,
I think like $600 for you or whatever, right?
That's when I first bought it.
Okay.
I first heard about it. I think it was like $1 or something like that. It was back in 2011 when I was a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I first started hearing about it, it was between 20 cents and got up to $2 or so.
That chart is
between
nuts.
20 cents and $2. And guess where I was hearing it?
Where?
On the Alex Jones Show. Hey, quick commercial break here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you want to give back, let me help you buy a house, or I can help you sell a house. It's the only way I make money when I'm not investing in real estate. I don't make money on this podcast or the events I do, but I do make money only when I help people buy and sell houses. So if you're looking for your next investment and you're here in North Idaho, I want to help you personally. If you are not in North Idaho, I can still help you out. I have a vast network of referral partners all across the country, and I can find the right real estate investor savvy agent for you so you don't have to. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you for your support. Back to the show. It was one of the sponsors.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Started talking about why you should buy Bitcoin.
And it was to Alex Jones back in 2011?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My wife made me stop listening to it when we met.
No comment.
Yeah. But then I actually started buying it when it was around $600 in 2017. It was bouncing around.
Right about in past that
Maybe
point,
it was, it was 2016. Sorry, it was 2016. Yeah, I can see it right here. It was in the fall of 2016, I believe. I bought like 1.5 Bitcoin. So I spent like $1,200, and I remember like basically doubling my money. Yeah. Because it shot up in not very much time. Yeah. To around somewhere in here. Sure. $1,200 or so. Anyway, doubled my money, got out of it. Yeah. And I remember the change. It was actually I understood Bitcoin because Zach Doty told me all about it, and
Mhm.
he used to run the Bitcoin podcast for
Okay.
a while, so
Yeah.
he knew all about it. He had hundreds of Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And he told me all about his story and what got him interested, and just explained the economy to me,
Mhm.
basically how our US dollar worked. And I was like, not news to me, dude. Like, I'm right. Like, I understand this too. I'm
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
know it's we live in a fiat currency
Sure.
world, and totally get it. The more that they print, the less it's worth. And he's like, so with Bitcoin, there's only like 20, and I can't remember, 21, there's either 21 or $22 million, or 21 to 22 million Bitcoin out
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And half of it at the time was not mined yet. And I did not really understand the mining process,
Mhm.
but he said, the more that it's adopted,
Mhm.
the more the value is just going to go up.
Yeah.
And he explained that there's all these countries that are, when their banking system goes bust, like Zimbabwe and stuff, all these locals in the town will just start using Bitcoin.
Gotcha.
And that's what was making it so popular. Not necessarily Alex Jones here,
Sure.
but the fact that it actually had utility
Yeah.
around the world.
Mhm.
Now I might be paraphrasing a lot of this stuff, but
Sure.
he was explaining to me that, like, this thing will only grow.
Right.
It won't, like, it will have its swings because
Sure.
it's crypto, and there's, panic selling and buying and stuff. But
Mhm.
he's like, but people that use it believe in it, and they'll just hold it.
Yeah.
Most people. He said the only thing that would probably, make it go away would be the U.S. government, like, banning it or something like that.
Right.
And I think I remember China trying to ban it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just a little skittish.
Sure.
I'm like, I don't think I want much of my money tied up in something that could be banned by the governments.
Right.
And it just, in my head, I was always kind of shut down after that. Like,
That's the reason why it was volatile, by the way, because of all these potential bans, and there was no utility back then. I mean, there was a little bit, but like, those are the reasons why, like, you hear like volatile, because it could just go away.
Yes. So Bitcoin, for those that still don't know what it is, it's fake internet money.
Checks.
That people have started using, which makes it not fake anymore because people are actually using it. But it was just invented, a non-hackable way to have it, encrypted funds online that aren't tied to or backed by gold or anything like that. It's just called Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it's very, very safe, but kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
You can basically there has all these features, where there's not one particular company that runs it. It's just a thing that's out there on the internet.
Yeah.
And you can store it on the cloud,
mm-hmm.
or you can store it on a hard drive.
Yeah.
And it takes these keys, which I can't remember how long. They're 20-something characters.
Yeah, I've got keys saved on my thing. It's just a bunch of weird words all put together.
A bunch of big passwords and other forms. Like, there's phrases that you can invent or create, where you can unlock your value of Bitcoin anywhere. So you just got to kind of keep it in your head, or written down somewhere. And to me, still at that time, I just figured that was so unsafe.
Sure.
And I hated it.
It's like the most safe thing, though.
Because, right. But there are a lot of people that you hear of that would lose it.
Yeah.
And even Zach himself, I remember he said he wrote down a bunch of, he had crypto written down on a paper, and he lost the paper somewhere. Yeah. And he had like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of this crypto. It wasn't necessarily Bitcoin, but it all functioned the same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cryptocurrency, is like the industry, and Bitcoin is like the player of crypto.
Think of shoes. Like, Nike is the Bitcoin to what Bitcoin is.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's the high
shoes.
It's the big name in it, basically.
Yeah. And it's considered the most safe, and one that has the most utility.
Yeah.
For just simply exchanging the value. It's considered the gold of internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, something that it took me a while to get back into it.
Do we care about like blockchain and what the actual blockchain is and how it's actually mined? Is that something that people care about? Because, like, I think
you explain it? Because I'm not good at it.
Not very well. So my understanding of like what mining is, I've done like a little bit of it. I have this free app on my phone that mines Pi, which is kind of fun. But basically, it's basically your computing power of your computer. It's trying to process problems and solve solutions, if I'm not wrong, correct? So like, once you solve a solution that the internet comes up with a problem with, that's when you unlock that piece of Bitcoin. So that's what mining is. You're basically just running solutions through your computer's RAM.
And it takes a lot of data processing.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of power,
Mm-hmm.
like actual like utility power from the power company to power these computers to mine little bits of Bitcoin that are still left. Now, it's not mining new Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mining what's left that hasn't been unlocked yet.
Yep. Has it all been mined?
No.
But I know the more that people mine, the less the value is every time you mine, right?
Yeah.
So like in the beginning, players were like getting a lot of fucking Bitcoin when they were mining.
Yep, at the beginning.
Yeah. And then that number just like, it's never going to go to zero from my understanding, but it will just continue to get smaller and smaller piece every single time.
Yeah, the way it was set up was pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
And very foolproof.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, I mean, it has a history of being involved in criminal activity,
right?
Because it's an easy, it's a very safe. Well, I don't know about safe. It's a safe way to transfer money without people really knowing who's the owner.
A paper trail, yeah.
But it does leave a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
So Bitcoin is actually more transparent than like the US dollar.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody can see what's happened.
Yeah.
Everybody's wallet is basically open for people to see. You just can't touch without the keys.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a very, and it's it runs on a peer-to-peer network.
Yep.
Kind of like when you were maybe downloading free internet or free music from the internet back in the day.
Yeah.
Like torrents and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It kind of works the same way.
Sure.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of this.
Right.
The point is you don't have to understand how Bitcoin works to invest in it.
Right.
And nowadays you don't have to necessarily be too skeptical about it being banned. And that's what I love about it now, because it is being adopted by all of these big financial institutions, and BlackRock's buying it. And like now Robinhood has it, available on their platform, and it's just become an accepted store of value.
Those cards
in
are
our
so
culture.
girthy. I love them.
Yeah. Not nice.
I get so many compliments on my thick cards.
Oh,
they touch it, they're just like, ooh, like I'm a millionaire.
Like, dang.
They hold this, and it's got like,
I haven't thrown this around much yet, but this one's gold and it's got the same.
Yeah, it's got like double thickness than a normal credit card. It's like you can't bend it.
Yeah.
They feel really legit.
They do. They do. Wish you guys can have some. Anyway, where were we going with this? Okay. So now Bitcoin, it may seem like you've lost out on the opportunity to make a lot of money on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Totally may seem that way. The price of it now is like $120,000 almost, $115,000.
Yeah.
I think it would hit 116 today. It's going back and forth, and it goes down. It will have 10% swings in a day sometimes. So you got to be able to stomach if you're going to put some of your net worth into Bitcoin, you got to understand it's going to fluctuate.
Right.
And it's not guaranteed to go up every year.
I put it in my head like it's almost like a stock in my head. Like I understand this thing is going to go up and down, and there will be dips and there will be highs. And I understand that being here for the long haul is going to be financially beneficial for me.
Yeah.
Like when we talked about when you first bought it back in like 2017 or whatever, I remember again looking at that price saying like, man, $3,000, like that seems so high.
Yep. And I felt like I missed out.
Yeah. And then
I felt like I missed out at $600. I'm like, dude, I remember when this used to be like 20 cents.
And then like 2 months later, I'm like, man, it's $4,000. That's probably the peak, right? And then like, oh, now it's 10, now it's 20, now it's 40. Then it was 60, and that was like big. And I was like, fuck, man, I should have bought more Bitcoin.
but what's happening is exactly what all the Bitcoin people have said would happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And though just because it's at $115,000 does not mean it's overvalued.
Right.
It just means that it's being adopted by more people because the number of Bitcoins don't go up.
Right.
That's what you guys got to understand. The number of people that are using it has gone up.
Yep.
And it's a supply and demand thing.
Right. Exactly.
So the only way if you look at the next, assuming that it doesn't get banned,
right,
over the next 10 years, it could easily be worth $1 million.
I don't think it
could.
Yes, it could get banned.
If it could get banned.
Yeah, but again, like saying that, like I don't.
But that doesn't
there
mean
would be like mass pandemonium if Bitcoin got shut down.
Yeah, and by me saying it could be $1 million in 10 years is actually probably conservative.
I agree,
because that's not much growth.
Right.
That's only going, that's only a 10x.
Yep.
And it's done a lot more than 10x the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, you said average like 70% increase every single year. So
yeah. And I think we've had some AI run some scenarios if you were to just go out and get a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you talk while I look that up real quick? Because I think, actually, it's right here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so here's a scenario. This will be fun.
Okay.
So let's say you go out there and you get yourself one of these Gemini credit cards. I don't know if are there other companies out there who do something similar?
There might be. I just like Gemini. So Gemini has
it's an online bank.
Out of all of the crypto exchanges, when all of the crypto, what company was the ones that was defunding all this stuff?
Coinbase.
Yeah. Kraken. There was a whole bunch of them that basically, like, when crypto people were putting their crypto into accounts and then getting crypto back.
Yeah.
When that whole debacle went down, you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh, you mean when they're lending it out?
Yeah, and lending out and you were getting money back.
Sure.
And all those banks got shut down for fraud or whatever, right?
Some of them.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Gemini was like one of the ones that survived because
they got their they got their shit in order.
Yeah, they got their shit in order very quick. And even like directed IRA, they say they have a partnership with Gemini because like they are the trusted crypto source.
Yeah. So yeah, Gemini and
but there might be other ones out there. I just happen to like Gemini.
I like them too.
Yeah.
I've had an account with them for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm just starting to use it now.
Yeah.
And I actually want to get my kids set up with Gemini accounts early because I went to open bank accounts for them and my Numerica said, "Oh, they got to be 12." I'm like, "Okay." I remember like I'll just go, I will find a bank account for my kids.
Right. Grok can probably help you there, by the way.
Yeah. But it's like, this is where things are going anyway.
Anyway, Nick and I, we talked about this, and how we use these credit cards is we try to use them basically as a debit card. So when I swipe a $3 thing, by the end of the month, I'm making sure that I'm paying $3 basically.
Right.
I usually try to do it within the next couple of days. So I carry a small revolving balance.
Yep.
But then I just like, okay, is the balance at 0 yet? Nope. Make a payment. Is the balance at 0? Nope. Make a payment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a scenario. Dude is given such a conservative scenario. It's saying that the average Bitcoin growth is going to be 20% a year. That's okay. We'll deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the fun scenario. So you go out there, you get one of these cards this year, by the end of 2025. Let's say you spend an average of $2,000 a month on everyday purchases. Business, supply, travel, that kind of stuff. Not your home mortgage.
Right.
Not your insurance and stuff. Not like things that won't take a credit card.
Right.
But on average, I think most people spend a couple $1,000 a month on groceries and travel and fuel and entertainment and that kind of stuff. Yeah, your Netflix subscriptions, all those things add up. About $2,000, I would say, is a really fair assessment there. Yep. And your average rewards, they can range anywhere from 1% to 4%. They're saying the average reward is going to be 3%.
Sure.
Because most of the time, on gas, you get like 4%, I think.
Yeah, gas, you get 4. Like I think grocery stores, you get 2.
And restaurants, I think it's
3, something like that.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And everything else is 1. So
yeah. And then let's say the monthly amount of Bitcoin that you're earning, let's say $72 in value.
Okay.
Annual growth of 20%. Time horizon 20 to 30 years, starting in 2025. Year one, if you would earn approximately $43,000 in value, that doesn't seem right. Hold on.
At the end, post growth. What?
Yeah, these scenarios are way off. Sorry, guys, we didn't look at them in advance.
I was like, I want to see some charts.
It's saying, buddy,
here's some charts.
This is not true. You wouldn't have $43,000 worth of Bitcoin at the end of year one.
Right.
Let's come back to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. That
anyway,
did not go out the way I thought it would. Normally, these scenarios, AI scenarios, are much better, but it screwed up somehow.
So you'll learn $73 a month times 12.
Let's just do the math.
$876 a year.
Okay, in rewards.
It's assuming
times 20%.
Yeah. So, and if it goes up by 20% a year, you're looking at 175 growth plus that 825, about $1,000 a year, basically.
Let's do more. Let's do it half of what it was. So it's been 70% for the last decade. Let's do 35% growth percent.
Point being, though, and while Nick's pulling this up, basically, like any account that has that has growth potential, right? So the sooner you put it in, the sooner it can get to work, and the sooner it can get to work, the sooner it can start multiplying itself.
Yeah. And the real magic's going to be, not within the first few years,
No.
but after, year 20 to 30 is going to should be pretty big.
Right.
Assuming you have 20 to 30 years of life left in you guys. I don't know how old you are when you're listening to this.
Yeah.
But that I would assume that would be most of you. Okay. So over 20 years, it's estimating that you'd have approximately almost $2 million worth of rewards.
Wow. Just doing that, spending $2,000 a month, getting the $72 a month hypothetical in
over 30 years, almost 21 million.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy.
You know what's crazy about it too? So like obviously like these rewards are tied to what purchase you did. So once your purchase goes up, or once the price of Bitcoin keeps going up, like these rewards are just going to start almost compounding on themselves.
Well, that's the point. Yeah. Compounding at a huge rate.
Right.
So yeah,
you're not making more. You're not making more Bitcoin, but the price of your Bitcoin is going to be going up, hypothetically, of course.
Yeah. So basically, what we just did in this scenario was we assumed that Bitcoin will continue to go up as it gets adopted, because most people in the world are not using Bitcoin.
Right.
But over the next, few decades, I think most will have it like gold.
Yeah.
Some sort of small portion of their wealth.
Sure.
So we're assuming that it's only growing half of what it has been the last decade.
Okay.
Even though it might grow more.
Sure.
But that's still not a bad idea. I mean, I can imagine that will pay better than kitchen utensils.
Right.
Over time with your credit card rewards.
That is very true.
And it's all about just doing proper spending habits of only buying stuff that you can pay off.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Using it like a debit card is what I
use it like a
about
debit card, but just have the strength to know what's left.
Yeah.
And what you can actually pay off at the end of each month. So you are taking a risk by doing this. This is not going to be easy for everybody.
Nope.
So don't just jump into this if you have bad spending habits.
Right.
And you can't afford to pay off your card every month.
And Nick and I have both been in this situation before where we've been maxed out on our credit cards every single month. Like we used to live like that. You know what I mean?
And it did not pay, and we did not become wealthy that way.
No. I remember like even like when I carry like a small minimum balance on my credit cards, I'm paying like an extra like $400 a month just to have these cards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I paid off all my credit cards.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Homie don't need that.
Yeah. Homie don't need that.
So I hope this was helpful. Bitcoin is I'm much more confident in it these days than just a few years ago.
Right.
That even a year ago, I think I did not have as much confidence because there hasn't been as much mass adoption.
Right.
By big legitimate financial institutions.
Right. I also think if it was going to be banned, it would have been banned a long time ago.
Right.
Like before these big companies started investing in it and doing these things, because now like they are going to fight back with us.
Right. And this could be there's a lot of theories out there online saying even Russia has a theory that the US is going to start exchanging gold reserves for Bitcoin to get out of the $36 trillion debt problem.
Sure.
Over time, which if Russia's concerned about it, they probably have some intel.
If we need more gold, we should just go to different planets.
That's That's very true.
We play No Man's Sky.
So gold, so true.
Yeah.
So I believe we will have the ability to travel to Mars and asteroids and mine, which makes all of a sudden gold not as scarce as what we can find on this planet. If we can go out and collect more gold, but you can't go out to other planets to collect more Bitcoin.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, and you talked about at the beginning of the show, there's only been a finite number, like 22 million. That number hasn't changed since 2013 or whatever, right?
No, it won't change.
Okay.
That's just how much there is.
That's just the supply. They can't
So
add
the
more
only thing
supply.
that can happen is that just more people adopt it. And then, for those that are still confused, like, well, I'm never going to be able to afford a Bitcoin. It's just whatever little slice of the pie you want.
That's what I love about it too. Like you don't have to buy one Bitcoin.
Yeah. You can buy $1 worth today, and it looks funny because it's like a bunch of 0.000 whatever. But you then all of a sudden you'll be in the game, and all it takes is $1.
I love that because again, like you don't have to. When I first thought about it, like I thought you had to buy one whole Bitcoin. I didn't know you.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm like $3,000. I can't. There's no way I can afford that.
People think that was stocks still.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that stock's too expensive. I can't afford that much.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what are you talking about? You can buy as much of the
Yeah.
stock as you want.
Just
You can buy
20
$10
cents.
worth of this $400 stock. There's a lot of people out there that just don't understand even that.
Yeah.
That, the value of some share doesn't dictate how much you can afford of it.
Yeah.
You can buy fractional shares of Bitcoin. So don't let that stop you.
Right.
The only thing that's stopping you is in between your ears.
Yeah, I love that. And so I buy Bitcoin automatically every single day. I know you and I buy it differently. Like you buy it during the dips and you do these trades because you try to capitalize on it.
You buy how much of it?
Like $2.50 a day.
$2.50 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just enough to not really feel it.
Yeah.
Like you don't even notice it coming out of your account.
But I do that on like 15 different stocks too. So it's just like, like 20 to 40.
Oh, so you're spending 20 to 40 a day.
Yeah.
That's actually that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, 20 to 40 a day. What is that? A few $100 a month?
Yeah, so I guess I do it in a lot of different ways. I do some Bitcoin, some of it goes into my high yield, some of it goes into different buckets into my high yield. So I have like 10 different transactions coming out for high yields into my buckets that I want, like save for a house, save for a car, save for these things. And it's just little amounts that I don't feel. And then with stocks and crypto, I buy Solana, Bitcoin, VOO, and VTI, and Tesla every single day. So there's 5, I guess, there.
Yep.
And then plus all the stuff with the high yield. So it's like 10 different accounts coming out every day. It hits about $40 to $50 a day, it seems like.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you buy Ethereum?
I don't.
Okay. So what I heard from an expert yesterday on a podcast, which seemed interesting, was Bitcoin is like the gold of the internet and Ethereum's like the oil.
Interesting. I would have thought
so
like
I would
Ethereum
also
like
consider
Yeah.
Because it's got the most utilities with smart contracts and stuff. And
you were big on Ethereum.
I was very big on Ethereum, and I made a lot of money on Ethereum because I bought it at like $40.
Yeah.
And
I've made a lot of money on Ethereum too, like not as much as you did, but I used to invest in it. I just tried to funnel it so I wasn't too spread out, basically, into like, all right, I like Solana because I can do the stock lending or the crypto lending on that.
Right.
I make like 4.5% interest, which is better than my high yield.
Is this an annual interest?
Yeah, it's annualized.
Okay.
But they pay me every week, which is really cool.
Okay.
So like whenever I lend it, I only have like, I don't know, like $600 in Solana right now.
Yeah.
But like every week they're like, oh, here's an extra 75 cents because you're lending it. And I'm like, great. Times that by 4, that's almost $4 a month.
Right. Yep.
And I continue to buy that every single day. So that number will continue to compound.
Heck yeah.
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 Ethereum does stock lending too, or crypto lending too, by the way, in Gemini and in Robinhood.
Yeah, I feel like the features are endless.
Yeah.
With your
But you get less APY on Ethereum than you do Solana.
Now Solana, as utility wise, can it do just as much as Ethereum?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it. I looked into the paycheck first.
Yeah.
And it's such a small amount again. Like if it goes to 0, this is all stuff that I know that I'm like, cool. If Solana goes to 0, I understand the risk.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
my life saving is not going into.
And this is probably something we should mention, guys. Anything that's cryptocurrency that's not Bitcoin tends to be 100 times more risky.
Yeah.
So just be careful that don't just jump into every type of Bitcoin or every type of cryptocurrency thinking that it's also going to go up on a regular basis.
I have like 23 million SHIB.
Yeah.
And I know damn well in my heart, I'm like, this could end at any day.
Yeah, I got rid of that just because I was so sick of the notifications from Robinhood every like a couple times a day every time I moved.
You can turn your notifications on.
I know. I just thought it was so annoying.
I thought it was fun to have just 23 million or something.
So I bought Bonk.
I got tired of it, so I bought something else. It was more dumb.
Yeah.
Meme stock is all. One meme crypto is all I do, and that's the SHIB.
So what are your U.S. stock picks that you've got?
I really consolidated my portfolio, and I think we've talked about this on past episodes. But
you consolidated, meaning that you sold a lot?
Yeah. So I was invested in Ford, Nike, all these different things, Costco, and I was just buying little tiny little bits of everything.
Yeah.
And it finally clicked in my head. I'm like, I'm buying top 500 stocks. Like I'm buying the 500 stocks that are the most popular. Why don't I just buy into an index fund?
Because that's no fun.
You're right. It's not fun at all. But it makes my portfolio really easy because I imagine these people running the top 500 know how to pick the top 500 better than I do, and they have better time to do it.
Yeah.
And the fees are like 0.004%. Like the fees, I don't feel them because they're just cheap index funds. ETI and VOO are the two that I do for the Vanguard index funds. I also do the bond account, so I invest a little bit into the bond Not a lot.
Okay.
But just every time I'm like, yeah, I'll throw 10 extra bucks into the bond account.
Yeah.
Because your bonds are supposed to be your safe haven for when stocks start shitting the bed, basically.
Sure. Yeah,
Anyway,
I've heard that.
Yeah. I buy a tiny amount of it.
Yeah.
And it's less than 10% of my portfolio, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And then I buy Tesla every day. I've got some Amazon, but mostly the reoccurring ones are the VTI, VOO, Tesla, Lana, and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Those are like the main ones I just buy no matter what every single day.
I definitely, so I guess by having the Bitcoin as a reward on my Gemini, I guess that's something I buy every day.
Yeah. So I guess I have
and
that
then
too.
and then my reoccurring investment is Tesla. But it's only $45 a week. But I also buy in chunks too, whenever I see it down and up and down and up.
If you want all your Bitcoin in one account too, you can take all the Bitcoin you've earned from your Gemini and throw it into your Robinhood.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Very easy to do.
Robinhood was a little bit more expensive at one point. No, wait, maybe it was Gemini that
the
was
fees
more
are very
expensive.
minimal, by the way, when you do that.
Yeah, but you can compare the two too. So sometimes on different exchanges, like I remember sitting in the back seat of this road trip last week, and I wanted to buy a few thousand in Bitcoin because it was kind of at a dip, and there was a noticeable difference between Robinhood and Gemini.
Really?
And it was by like $1,500 difference. One was going for like 108 and the other one was like 1095 or something like that. Okay. So you got to compare them too, because not on every exchange they may not be the exact same price.
Right.
So something to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess maybe one may have a little bit more up-to-date data.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works.
But when I buy in such like small amounts, like $250 a day, like I don't really feel the big difference over long term. I feel
sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Like I'm going to be buying 0.0000008 versus 0.0000079.
How's your Dogecoin?
I don't have any Doge.
I got some more.
Did you?
Just $10,000.
$10,000?
10,000 Dogecoins.
Do I have any Doge? I don't know.
I have it. I bought it when it hit. So that's when I like to swing trade.
Okay.
I bought it when it was at 19.
No Doge. I sold my Doge.
19 cents, and I have a sell order for when it hits. Let's see, what was it? 26 cents. 26.3. So as soon as it hits 26 cents, it will sell.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to swing trade down instead of day trade.
Yeah.
So much better on my soul.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I try not to day trade. I just like kind of set it and forget it with this stock stuff.
Day trading will consume you.
Yeah. I don't want it to consume me.
Because I know we have similar personalities when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that's specifically why I don't do that. Like I set it and forget it so I don't have to think about it. Because if I did, I would be like you and be like, I wonder what my Bitcoin is.
What is it? I wonder what it's doing this hour. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that was enlightful.
Yeah.
A little bit helpful. Don't forget to probably dump your NVIDIA stock. It's at all-time highs, and I think it's kind of washed away now. I think it might be slightly overvalued.
Yeah.
But this is not financial advice. This is just me talking out loud,
entertainment purposes,
giving my opinion. So I still have 15 shares. I'm gonna dump at some point today. Cool. I think it's up almost 3% today. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this ramble today.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
you have any topics, any ideas you guys want us to talk about, if you want us to just get back on real estate, we will eventually.
Yeah, we'll talk about real estate too.
Just let us know.
But I think investing is just, it's an all-encompassing thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What do we do with our money that's not the U.S. dollar?
I love it. Easy peasy.
Because we don't want to irresponsibly save money.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, irresponsible savers.
That's my new thing.
I love it. Thank you so much for checking out the Investor Shed podcast. If you enjoyed your time, make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow along on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Investor Shed for shorts and promos about each episode. Do you want to be a guest or know someone who has great real estate investing advice and stories? Reach out to us at theinvestorshed@gmail.com.